Hi ladies, it's Janice here and welcome to this week's In Between Rounds. I wanted to continue on what we touched on last week with our upper body stretch and move into a lower body stretch. So here's a follow along video that you can use post lower body workout. I want you to start on the ground with me. We're just going to start with a simple hamstring stretch. I just want your legs straight out. You're just going to reach forward. For many of you, this will stretch your hamstrings, but if you're like myself and maybe you have fairly flexible hamstrings, you may get more of a lower back stretch, but I also feel like sometimes it doesn't matter. You're going to get that stretch where you want it. We can change our back position to bring it more into our hamstrings, but instead of doing that, I'm going to show you a variation to the hamstring stretch. So after we've done that forward fold, we're going to move into a single leg hamstring stretch. So I want you on your knees. We're going to extend the right leg out. So I have the right leg out a little bit, I would say this is about a 45-degree angle. And what I'm going to have you do is think of lengthening through your spine, rotate your body towards your foot, and then you're going to hinge at your hips. Keep your back as straight as you can. So I'm going to push my heel into the ground and then bring my chest towards my thigh. So from here, I've taken my back completely out of the equation and I'm feeling all of the stretch in that hamstring. As you know, I love to move through these stretches. So we're getting this stretch. We're going to take a breath and then I want you to drive your heel into the ground. So you're contracting that hamstring as you release out of it. We're going to do that same thing. So we're still tall. We bring our chest forward, back stays straight. Leg, hopefully this knee is as straight as it can be. We're feeling that nice hamstring stretch. Release out of it. We'll do one more here. So again, tall, hinge, reach forward. Make sure that back stays nice and straight. And we'll release and switch to the other side. So we're going to do the same thing here. We've got our left leg out about 45 degrees. I want you to think tall, rotate, so we're twisting here, so we're facing the direction of that toe. Keep that spine nice and straight, hinge at your hips, and push that heel into the ground while you come forward. The heel, by pressing into the ground, that's going to help really make sure that you're getting that hamstring to engage while you stretch. So push that heel into the ground, and we're going to release out of that stretch, and we'll do that again. So nice and tall, hinge forward at the hips. Okay. That chest is what leads you down. That's what's going to keep that back nice and straight and keep the stretch in your hamstring. Press that heel into the ground. Okay, we've got one more here. Nice and tall, hinging here. Big hamstring stretch. Release. We'll move to the front of the leg. So we're going to do a combination quad and hip stretch. This is one of my favorite ones. You can use a wall. You can also use the bottom of your couch to help prop your leg up. So I'm going to start by stretching my right quad first. So my right shin is going to go up the wall. The closer I bring this knee to the wall or to the couch, the more intense that stretch is going to be. So if this is brand new for you, I do suggest you having your knee a little further out. And then from here, we're going to bring our left foot up. So we're on the ground here. And I'm going to have you extend up in this stretch. The closer you bring your butt and your back to the wall, the more you are going to feel this stretch in your quad. Okay, so I'm leaning back, feeling this in my quad. I also want you to feel this in your hip. So how we're going to bring it into that hip flexor is now we're going to pull a little bit further forward, bum away from the wall. I'm squeezing my bum and driving that hip forward. We're going to move through this position just a little bit. So we're shifting where we feel that stretch. So I'm going to come up tall. It goes down my leg a little bit. Squeeze your bum. Pull yourself forward by driving that front heel into the ground. So I'm almost like gripping the floor with that left heel to come forward. Then we're going to do one more here. So we're up tall. And then shift forward. Excellent. For many of you, this might be a pretty intense one. And so as I mentioned, adjust the distance your knee is from the wall. We'll switch over here to our left. So we've got our left shin up the wall. Bring your right foot up, and we're gonna do that same thing. So we're up nice and tall. I'm gonna lean back into the wall, get a real big quad stretch here. I'll shift slightly forward, and I'm gonna drive my hips forward. So I'm tucking my tailbone underneath, and I'm gonna drive that back knee into the ground to get more of that hip stretch. Lean back here. That stretch shifts down your leg, down into the quad. Pull forward, so drive that right heel into the ground, drive the left knee into the ground, drive your hips forward. We've got our hip flexor stretch here, and we're gonna do one more time. So we're leaning back, and then we're gonna come back forward. Excellent. Come out of this stretch. Next up, I'm gonna have you on one knee again. We're gonna stretch a bit more of our groin here. So what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you face one wall on that knee, and you're gonna turn your opposite, your front leg, out to the side wall. So basically this toe is perpendicular to the direction of my shin here. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna rock into that stretch and pull back. Rocking into it and pull back. Give me one more here. Rock, pull back. While we're in this position, we're just gonna straighten that left leg, and I want you to rotate your toes. Here's Mac. She loves stretching too. Okay, so toes are now pointed forward, so instead of having them pointing to that side wall, they're forward. And I'm gonna have you hinge back, so your bum is going back towards your heel. Let me just turn sideways. We've got a cat in the way here, so that you can see what is happening here. So again, we're in that position, and you're rocking back. If this is a hard one for you to balance, you can put your hands on the ground as you rock forward and back. We're just gonna do one more here, forward and back. Excellent. Come back up to your knees, and we'll switch sides here. So now I've got my right foot up, okay, toes pointed to that side wall, and I'm going to come into that stretch and out. Lean into it, push out. So we're really getting into that groin. One more here. Excellent. Straighten that right knee. Pivot your foot, so now your toes are pointing forward. If you need to, you can put the hands on the ground. You're gonna sit your bum back, rocking back and forward. One more. Excellent. And we'll finish off with a butterfly stretch. So soles of your feet together. I want you to sit up nice and tall, and you're gonna try to drop those knees towards the ground. So when you're here, one trick I have to help open up those hips is I want you to put your thumbs on the insides of your feet, and I want you to think like you're opening the pages of a book. So sit up tall, open your feet like you're opening the pages of a book, and you're gonna feel that little release and drop, and your knees should open just that tiny bit more. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Okay, you can do a slight lean forward. Try to keep that back nice and straight. Depending on where those legs are, you can even add your elbows. Okay, if you want a little extra pressure. If you don't need that pressure, don't you be putting it there. I want you to exhale, release, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna do that again. So a little lean forward. You can add a little pressure from your elbows. Release. And then last one right here. So again, tall, hinge forward, pressure from your elbows. And release. And that is a little follow along leg stretch that you can do after your lower body workouts. So make sure if there's anything in here that you absolutely love, this is something you can add in at any time. You can do more than 3 reps. Please let me know in the comments below if you do have any questions, but save this video and use it after your workouts. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of the week. I will see you on the internet. Take care.